Pisces, Sun, Moon and Rising. Welcome to Ethernal Realms. We will see how the Aries eclipse taking place on the 20th of April going to impact you. So this was taking place at the very last degrees, 29 degrees of Aries, which would be in your second house. So whatever is taking place during this eclipse is going to have a leak over or an immediate effect onto your next house of communications, colleagues and co-workers, your neighbors, neighborhood, and also siblings, including your own thought process and how you communicate your own thoughts. It can also indicate that there are some travel plans coming up for you and you might be investing in that direction, or you're saving up for an upcoming trip or a vacation that you are thinking of. And that would be a very literal translation of what's taking place here. But on a deeper level, there can be certain breakthroughs in your self-worth, the way that you earn money, or the things that you spend on being more valuable and higher quality in general. We have this particular Sun squaring with Pluto, which would be at 0 degrees of Aquarius, which is a very pivotal degree again, because it's fresh new starts, completely new beginnings, and that is in your 12th house. At the very cusp of the 10th house. So your 11th house of networking, friendships and hopes and aspirations is having a carryover effect onto your friendships, large communities, your alone time, relaxation time, how you connect with your own spirit and things like that. So there can be a change in your sleeping patterns, or you might be looking or actually prioritizing even more your relaxation or self-care time. Maybe you're ensuring that your sleep times are very high quality, perhaps investing more in that direction. Or it can be that you have some dreams around this time which carry a lot of important symbolism and messages which are going to be important for you in your waking life. Your intuition is going to get even more sharp if it's not already on point. Since you're a Pisces, you're already very connected to this 12th house activity. So the Pluto arriving over there is just going to empower that even more. It brings more of that into your consciousness. It's not out there somewhere else that it's so mysterious that you can't even access it. Pluto makes the inaccessible very accessible just because you ask certain questions. You can find yourself looking at things from a different perspective, or thinking about the same situations from a different point of view over here too. Okay, let's see your cards, get some more specifics on how this is impacting you. Okay, so we have the heart chakra, and we have the soul or the spirit. Wow, really strong. This is kind of the infinite self. That's what is being depicted in this card here. So it seems like you're connecting to various versions of yourself, or you can even get some glimpses of your past lives or some events in the future. I would really not be surprised if you have some sorts of visions and other symbolism that you just intuitively feel. Also, you will feel it in your heart. Your emotions are going to be on the surface in some way, and you are a water sign, so you're anyway intuitively and emotionally in flow and in attunement. But if there are some blockages in any way, there would be the clarity that comes in and the opening takes place. You can also find yourself being very drawn to the open skies and you want to look at stars, you want to go outside at night, perhaps go somewhere camping or somewhere more nature based, so you can feel grounded. It can be that your mind is going through a lot of activities around this time, perhaps many thoughts, a lot of communications and correspondences. Maybe you have to deal with many different people, connections, and pass along details of some type. It can be professional, but it can also be personal. But either way, you need a little bit of a breather, a little bit of a break, and you want to kind of ground yourself by doing something more practical. So in that way, your heart could be called to creating something with your hands, so taking a walk, walking bare feet, doing some gardening. It can be a variety of things, but either way, it is something that would actually make you feel very happy. Okay, let's see your astro cards. By the way, you got one extra tarot card. I was picking 5 for everyone else, but you got 6. So I'm expecting something significant here. Okay, so we have Uranus, which represents rebel, reform, unpredictable, and eccentric. It's also the planet of epiphanies and spontaneous changes. There can be something unexpected that shows up, but again, so far it seems quite change for the better, change for the positive. It seems like a breakthrough, breaking open, being more liberated, because it's the planet of freedom. It does not like to stick to something just because it's been done before. It wants to try something else, because what's the fun in doing something that's already here? Being original, being eccentric, being fun and out there and different, things like that is what Uranus supports. Also, it's a planet for technology. Mercury generally is, but Uranus can be like larger scale networks. So perhaps you are communicating long distance, or working with people or collaborating with people who use different softwares, for example. And this could be a time when you're getting along with them, or you're kind of learning a lot of different things at the same time, because everyone is doing a separate or taking care of a separate facet of whatever it is you're doing. It can also indicate your brilliant streaks of ideas. There can be just some genius awakenings. You can have some radical ideas, and it just absolutely makes sense to you in that moment. It can be something you desire, and you find a creative way to actually make it more real, more accessible. What I also think with eclipses is that they make far away, or like seemingly far away, goals and ambitions very real, very fast, because it's very fateful, the north node and the south node points. That is where the eclipses occur, and that's why we consider eclipses as a major turning point. It's like the pages flipping, it's not really the changing of the sentences of the story, really the page and the chapter is flipping, and we have a big chunk of storyline to now get to. So Uranus is that type of, it's the kind of book where it is a page turner, like you want to keep on reading, right? It seems very interesting and exciting. You might meet some unexpected people, or you might have some unexpected communication or plans coming up around this time. So make sure you're free if you want that. If not, then this could be a time that you go inward and you want to spend some more time with yourself to recuperate from all the happeningness that's happening around you, basically. Okay, then we have the IC point, which is the private self, your home life and your childhood. It sits at the very base of your chart. Can be a little bit to the 3rd house or the 5th house, depending on where you were born. But either way, it's at the base of your chart. And it indicates your deeper parts, your inner self, and so on. So you want to go inward. There is a little bit of an introversion you're feeling, but at the same time, there is a lot of breakthroughs. For some of you, it can be related to internal breakthroughs, getting out of previous traumas and turmoils and any feelings that you have attached to those circumstances. But this also indicates you have this inner urge or desire to break free of constraints or orthodox methods, but you don't want to be too radical about this, so you're going inward to seek guidance. Wow, okay, we have the 4th house, which is where the IC would normally sit, but it is this house is about the home, family, your roots, ancestry, and things that only you know. Other people are not able to see the activity that takes place in here unless they literally live in your space, i.e. share a room or something. So there are some personal changes that you're going through here. Perhaps you're shifting your house or thinking about shifting houses. Uranus can talk about breaking out of home patterns too. So if you've been renting for quite some time, this would be the time that you decide to really set roots and purchase a house. Or if you have been staying in one place for quite some time, this could be you taking a different turn. Perhaps you want to go on some adventures over here. But once again, you don't want to be too radical, so you're really thinking about this whole process, but you absolutely are making some forward progressive thoughts. Okay, then we have Aquarius, which is what Uranus rules, and this talks about the 12th house. Again, you might be making it a priority to meditate more. Some of you could go for self-hypnosis or just counseling and therapy sessions if you have some things to figure out or get off your chest. You can get really personal and really create a breakthrough with whomever you decide to communicate with, whether it is yourself or someone else. There can be a humanitarian approach here that's coming through. You want to do something for the greater good. You want to feel connected more. Perhaps you want to create more friends and have more personal bonds. So you're like getting a little bit emotional around them. But I don't see it as being like overly stepping outside of your bounds. You're aware of your boundaries. It seems like you're doing something that's comfortable for you and is acceptable in a general sense, right? But still you're doing something different to what is generally your pattern. Okay, I'm really curious how exactly all this is happening. Okay, we have the 5 of Cups with Mars in Scorpio. Then we have the Hierophant, another 5. This connects with Taurus. That would be your 3rd house. This is where the leak over of the eclipse energy is going. Then we have the Queen of Wands, which is a Leo, Aries, and Sagittarius energy. It also talks about stepping up to your very sociable, charming, confident self. And the Hierophant is taking things seriously, doing things one by one, making sure you're still comfortable, that you are stable and secure as well. So yes, there are no huge radical changes, but there are definitely some shifts you're thinking about in areas of life where you're not fully satisfied. Okay, you're taking matters into your own hands. You're not like complaining about anything. You're not upset about it. You're like, yeah, okay, this does not fit with me anymore, so I'm going to make a shift. That's it. It's quite simple in terms of your attitude. We have the Ace of Wands. And this is so amazing. We have Wands coming through, which is a fire sign, which would be Aries. Quite nice that we have that coincidence. Also, Mars will be in a fellow water sign. In this card, we have it in Scorpio, but at the time of the eclipse, it will be in Cancer. So there can be some deeper emotions that come up to the surface for either reevaluation. Perhaps certain things that you have not forgiven or forgotten would come up for review so that we can look at it, accept it, let it go, or deal with it in another fashion that is suitable for the circumstance you're in. But either way, there is a resolution. I'm also getting blessing in disguise. So something disappointing that has happened in the past or is going on in your life right now at the time of this eclipse is about to you're going to come to a truce with it, because you see the benefits of something not working out or something being a greater loss in some way. For example, you could be taking a job where you have to travel really far and you're not being compensated for the travel, but you still have a job, so you're grateful for it. But there comes a time when then you get another option and you get to move, but and over there you don't have to spend for the travel fees, for example. So you still look back and you could objectively say that the previous one was a worse job because it was not helping you enough with your finances, or you were losing as much you were making, or you were not able to save much, etc. Right? But the previous thing also gave you a lot other skills and things, and the temporary loss, let's say, of the finances due to travel plans, that was necessary for you to learn saving, for example, or to be able to funnel things or categorize and slot your finances so you can manage them much better. If you didn't have the problem, you would not have the solution. So if you didn't have a certain temporary loss, you would not have the idea of how to gain more, right? Now it's like you can cope with any circumstance. So you're ready for creating anything, literally anything, in your infinite versions that you actually want to have in your life. Your hopes and dreams and aspirations, which seem a little bit far away and have been denied so far, it seems much sooner. Not because it's magic, it might be partly, but you're also putting in the effort and you know how to funnel your resources in that direction. Yes, there you go. We have success or victory with 6 of Wands, Jupiter in Leo. It indicates that your success is being protected at this time. So you're bold, you're brave, you're courageous, you're expressive of what you desire, and you have made sure that you're deserving of getting everything that you're asking for. Right? You've worked for it, you've put in the time and effort, and you have dealt with difficult times along the way as well. So this seems like very well-deserved rewards coming through for you. There can be an increase in reputation too, with the Queen of Wands right in the center over here, it looks as though you are very sought after. People are looking to you, they want your guidance and things like that. So that could be kind of the excessive communication vibe that I was getting. You're really shining. The public sector is kind of seeing you very clearly here, which you Pisces can be a little bit introverted at times, especially when you're a little bit tired and you're like done helping people for some time. So this would be one of those times where people are calling you a lot or wanting a lot of your help because you're the more experienced one or you're the most skilled, something of that sort. You have a certain quality that people are looking for, that you're inclined to go inward, like, okay, when I'm home, I don't want to be answering any more phone calls. Please contact me during my working hours. Please don't bother me right now. Or like, I'm going through my recuperation process. This is my vacation time. Please don't bother me at this time, and so on. So there can be, this can be a time where you can exert your boundaries very effectively. If you're bad at that, then this would be the perfect opportunity to start learning. Okay, it's such an important skill to have in your toolkit, isn't it? Okay, then we have the, wow, all right, we have the Fool. I feel awesome whenever I see this card because there's an innocence to it, an excitement, like a new chapter is beginning and you know it, you feel it, it's happening right here and right now. You can see it happen, right? So in the seeing, it can be just a feeling and an intuition that you get. You could get like butterflies in the stomach, or you just getting your heartbeat getting raised randomly, and you're like, okay, for some reason, I'm really pumped. I really want to go and do this, or contact this person, or be friends with that person, whatever it is for you. You know that you're about to embark on something brand new, and you're really, really excited. Aces are about new beginning. And so is the Fool. The 4th house as well. If something happens in your very core part of you, i.e. the 4th house or the IC, it automatically has an effect in the public sector. Because if you can change your core, the external inevitably changes. Perhaps not instantly, but quickly, very quickly, like soon after, it starts showing up in the external world. And you can't be tired of putting up a persona, because you're not putting up a persona. You're not pretending to be social. You're not pretending to be energized or energetic. You're not pretending to be passionate, right? You just are. This is you originally as you are, is coming out to the surface, full bloom, people observing, people watching, and you're like, okay, well, thank you, very flattered, but I like my space, thank you very much. Yes, so that's really nice. In a career sense, the Taurus card indicates that you might get some more finances, especially if you've been disappointed with how things have been going on for you in that department. There can be some new ideas, new creativity that comes in here, a brand new journey, like I said, but it has some financial and material stability and gains as well. You can make some new networks, new friends who would be beneficial for you down the line, or you share a lot of things in common. So you know you feel a certain level of kinship here. So you're excited to kind of follow through and see how that really works out for you. Okay, so let's see your Astro dice. Pisces, please. How is the Aries solar eclipse for them? Yeah, okay, so we have Aries, we have Mercury, and we have the 9th house. Okay, there could be some contracts going ahead, getting signed, being approved. You might be traveling somewhere abroad, or you're making travel plans. We saw that earlier. So it could be possible here. Perhaps you're taking some initiative towards your visa requirements if you want to move abroad, then taking care of immigration or other travel documents, things like that. You can also be connecting with people who live abroad. Like I was saying earlier, you might be connecting with people who are using like different softwares or other technological tools and things like that. And you might be on a long distance call trying to solve their problems or something of that sort too. Aries puts you in that powerful position that you are the one who knows best, and you're also taking a lot of initiative to get something done, to figure something out. That initiation is actually what is bringing you a lot of that that boost in your reputation. People immediately see you, they respond to you, and you are also being respected and honored for your contributions as well. There can be, like I was saying earlier, there can be some epiphanies or realizations, some inspiration as well that comes in here, which is not only a feeling but a clear idea. And all you need to do is kind of sit with it and process it, if this is more of a creative journey we're talking about, because that can lead to some long-term plans. Some future vision could be very clear here, and you can materialize the ideas if you follow through with it. If you take initiative on it, the idea is right there, your feeling is straight, your spiritual guides, your soul and everything is just flowing along with you, nudging you along this direction. So I don't see you resisting at all, honestly. Your zodiac is not about resistance, so I'm really enjoying the things that are coming here for you. Very blessed, very lovely, and yes, previous things that didn't work out just start making sense at this point. Okay, wow, so that's what I have for you, Pisces. Thank you so much for being here. I really hope the reading resonated and that you enjoyed, that it helped you out. Let me know your thoughts, and if you want a personal reading, you can reach me via Etsy. The link is in the description box and the comment below. I will see you some other time. Until then, take care. Bye.